You're listening to Cowboy Logic with Jason Forby, a message of grace and hope.
Is everybody good? So I know it's Father's Day, and anybody with any sense would pull some biblical text out of some life of a good father and inspire you to appreciate your father or forgive your father or be a good father or something like that, And so I don't know how to do all that. So just do that, all right? Happy Father's Day. But I'm thinking more than that. I think it's maybe more of a time to be a father. I think this looking around, I don't watch too much or I'm not aware of all that's happening, but I got a pretty good suspicion that the world needs a good father. You know what I'm saying? Needs some fathering, and it needs some good mothering as well. But so I was thinking about, all that's happening in the world today and how maybe it's an hour for just good fathers to know who they are, to just speak peace. Speak peace. You remember like when you was kids and mom might say, "You kids get in there and be still. Quit your fighting. Quit here." Just my house, I guess, or Granny. I had Mom and Granny. When we had all of us, they're always cousins and sisters and everybody always around. And you know how kids are, right? Mom and Granny could say, "You kids quit. You kids get in there and be quiet," or all this and that. We didn't pay no more attention to that, nothing. But Grandpa or Dad walk in and say, "Hey." I don't know. Maybe the world right now needs a, "Hey." And I don't mean that like I'm going to pull my belt off and get you kind of a way. I mean, Although I think this is a side note. I think it was John Wayne said the trouble with most kids nowadays, they've never heard a leather belt pass 7 Wrangler belt loops at the speed of light. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm getting way off track already. Everybody's all right. So here's what this be quick. I just think for a place like this where we have men, we have dads, we have mature, understand the grace of God and the love of God and what the real gospel is and all that. I don't know. I just think Father's Day, since we got a house full of good fathers, that maybe even though as if the whole world is actually going to hear this, but I don't think they have to. I think as long as we stand up in this place on this day in our position and speak and believe and pray for peace for the world. I mean, we need it, huh? Maybe the first verse that probably not the first I ever memorized, but the first one that I remember memorizing. John 16:33. You guys know it, where Jesus says, "Peace to you," my peace and all that, and he said, "In this world you're going to have tribulation, but take heart," or "have courage. I've overcome the world." Peace. Peace to you. So you can have peace regardless of what kind of tribulation or regardless of what's happening around us or everywhere. You can still have peace. And my point is that in order for us to speak peace, in order for us to release peace, and for us to have some command of peace happening, we first have to have it. You can't be full of turmoil and a twisted mess yourself and expect to speak peace and it have any kind of weight at all. You follow me? And so I just think like in today's day and time, I just see, and the church has bought into it a whole bunch of just people bickering and fighting and divided and just disagreeing for the sake of disagreeing. I saw 2 places where Jesus warned people. He warned people of the leaven of the Pharisees. Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. What's the Pharisees represents religion. Beware of religion, right? Because it divides people. You ever seen so much division amongst the people of God? There's like 33,000 in some denominations. Like, what? How in the world? I mean, that blows my mind. The other one was beware of the leaven of, what did he say, Herod or what? So he's saying the political. The political. I ain't going to get into all that, but here's what Jesus is saying. These two arenas, their biggest objective is to keep y'all fighting and bickering and divided. Doesn't even matter who's right, because here's the deal, neither. I see people fighting every day, and either party, I don't mean party, I don't just mean political, I'm not being political, I'm just saying people everywhere. And now it's worse because we got social media and all this stuff. It's just like, you know what, this one's arguing with this one, and where this one got their information is 98% liars. Now don't amen me yet. Because this one over here, the one they're arguing with, guess what? They got their information, 98.2% liars. And we're all fighting, all arguing, all this over stuff that ain't even real or true. I'm just saying, it's like it's Father's Day. Let's at least a house full of fathers here say, hey, quit buying into that nonsense. Let's speak peace. We're not taking part. I should have worn my shirt today. I got a shirt that says not participating. Let's not buy into the foolishness. Let's not buy into the divisions and all the stuff of this, regardless of who's right. Because who cares who's right? It doesn't matter who's right if we're all divided and the world's going to hell and we're all shooting each other and destroying each other. Well, I was right. Well, congratulations. The boat's still sinking. You got what I'm saying? Gosh, this is terrible for Father's Day, ain't it? Everybody's good. I remember this story. I was thinking about dads, and I got a good dad, I had good grandpas, good men in my life, and I had even a bunch of adopted dads, like all my buddies. I remember one of my best friends in high school. We always stay at his house. We were, and even after high school, old enough to run around and stay out late night and get in trouble and all that. Well, we always like to stay there because my buddy, he had his own room, was like in the whole basement. So we could come in whatever time we wanted, you know what I'm saying? And so there was beds everywhere. We had this whole big living thing, and we'd just all come in, and so we'd be in there. And I mean, his dad was old school, old farmer type guy, and the kitchen table used to be right above the beds up in the upstairs, and he was one of them old guys, got up early, drinking coffee, reading the paper and all that stuff. And Mama, she'd be every morning, it didn't matter, she was cooking breakfast, frying eggs, biscuits, gravy, all the whole fixings. I mean, every morning, and it didn't matter what time you went to bed. When breakfast is ready, you coming out of there, And so you could hear him very right above there, and she'd be in there cooking and all. He's there, and you'd hear this. He's right up there, Now, there wasn't going to be very many stomps. Maybe you might get twice if he's in a good mood. The next stomp is you're going to hear him coming down them stairs, and he'd have a pitcher of ice water. And it's going to dump it on you if you ain't coming out of there. So it didn't take very many times. When Dad said, wake up, you come out of there. Now I would say the smell of Mom's biscuits and gravy and bacon and all that would be enough for me now. But, but I just think one of the jobs of Dad was to wake us up. Wake us up. Get up. It's time to eat, regardless of what you had going all night or whatever else. When it's time to eat, it's time to eat. And I just thought about, his name was Dale Williford. He's no longer with us, but I just never forget it. One of his jobs was to wake us up. Get up. It's time to go, And so I found this verse said, wake up. Let me just read. Let me read it to you. This is Romans 13. And you know what we believe in love, right? I don't have to go into all that. And Romans 13, There's never a good spot to get in or get out. But let's start about 10. Love makes it impossible to harm another. So love fulfills all the law requires. And we know now it's not something you do, it's something you have, right? It says, to live like this is all the more urgent, for time is running out. And you know it is a strategic hour in human history. It is time for us to wake up. For our full salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. Night's darkness is dissolving away as a new day of destiny dawns. So we must once and for all strip away what is done in the shadows of darkness, removing it as filthy clothes. And I'm not going to go into it all. I'm going to be fast. You guys know now we're not saying all this stuff. This is not about, it means your world's getting ready to come to an end and we're all going to go to heaven someday. No, I believe it's relevant now. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, because the world needs the people of God to realize who they are and quit joining the fight. Quit picking sides to the fight and take our position and interject peace. Know that the one that we're following has overcome the world. No longer the division of Herod, which is political. No longer the division of the Pharisees, which is religion and all that, right? It's Father's Day. We're all going to go to family stuff. What's the rule? Don't bring up politics or religion. Why? Guaranteed fight. I'm not saying there's not a place for Christians to be involved in all that. I'm not saying all that. I think we ought to be in it and involved in everything. I do. I just think we should wake up enough to say, I can see the divisiveness and the lie that's happening to keep us all divided so that we won't come together in unity and have power to release peace and to overcome the world and implement the kingdom of God. Have I got the right bunch? So I'm not keeping you. I'm just telling you. This is what I'm telling you. Let's quit sleeping. Let's quit being blind and silly and falling into the trap of getting involved in all the... I think it was Bill Johnson. I heard him say this one time. If most of your information is coming from modern day media, then your destruction is self-inflicted. I better say it again. If your information is mostly coming from modern day media, then your destruction is self-inflicted. Is everybody good? This was terrible. This is terrible, huh? But I'd rather see people have peace than impress you with a great sermon, because we all fall into the trap. I say, let's be agents of peace. You can't give peace if you don't have peace. This is what I want to make the announcement to everybody everywhere. Quit waiting for everybody else to agree with you or support you or approve you before you become okay. If you're waiting on other people to straighten up, if you're waiting on other people to act right or agree with you or support you in order for you to be okay, you will never be okay. I love them. Love everybody. And I'm going to be all right whether you like me or not. I'm going to be all right whether you agree with me or not. Let's quit letting people have that kind of power over because if you do, then you'll never have peace. And if you never have peace, you'll just join in and contribute to the turmoil and the chaos and the yeah. All right. I'm just going to quit. Let's eat donuts.
Please follow and share this message. And for more information, visit srcowboychurch.com.